Hey, what? It's camera time. Okay. Hey you, how you doing? Today I'd like to talk about one of my favorite 35mm SLRs, the compact, delightful Olympus OM-1. Now this was a camera that was made from 1972 all the way up to 1988, and there were actually 4 different versions. This is the second of them, and you can tell, for one thing, by the fact that down here it says OM1. Well, originally it was the M1. But then Leica got all butthurt about it and Olympus had to change it. So that's why it's the OM1. So the Olympus OM series of cameras was designed by a team led by Yoshihisa Maitani, who already had success in designing the Olympus half-frame SLR, the Pen F. But this camera is, I think, where his genius really shines. Let's take a quick tour of some of the features in the camera body. This is your film rewind knob. This is your meter switch. You've got a hot shoe here for your flash. This is where you would usually have the shutter speed dial on most cameras. Somewhere around here, right? But this is actually where you set your film speed. Here you have your shutter release, and of course this is your film advance. The shutter speed is actually located on this here control ring that goes around the lens mount. On the lens, of course, you have the focusing ring here, and in front of that you have your aperture ring. And on the lens itself, you have 2 of these little silver buttons. This one is actually your lens release. Opposite that, you have a very similar looking button, but that is actually your depth of field preview. Lets you stop down the aperture, check what your depth of field is doing, but these are at, as I said, 180 degrees to one another. But the depth of field preview one has a little bit more travel, has a little bit more weight to it, smooth texture. The lens release one here has a grooved texture. Let's put that back on. On the front of the camera, there's really only a couple things going on here. You've got the self-timer. The other little control that you see on the front here, this is actually where you release the film so you can rewind it at the end of the roll. So this one, you want to rewind your film, turn that 90 degrees counterclockwise, and then you are free to rewind the film. Now, on the back of the camera, there's basically nothing. You get your viewfinder, and you see this little wheel here, and this, turn that, this is how you take the hot shoe off. And finally, on the bottom, all we've got is the battery compartment. That's it. Now, this is a fully mechanical camera. You don't need a battery to operate it. You just need to throw some batteries in there if you want to use the built-in meter. Now, let's talk about how compact these cameras are. Canon EF, definitely bigger. Canon FT, bigger. Nikon FT, way bigger. Pentax SV, only a little bit bigger. And the closest one that I have, this is the Pentax MX, just about the same size. They're almost identically sized. These are great cameras. If you have the chance, give one a try.